Well, I have my news up here at Desawe in Kanda. This is News 360. I am Alfred Okansi.
And I am Portia Gabo. Coming up, the headlines.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by Deluxy Acrylic Paint, Heaven Insecticide Spray and Coil, and Apa Foods.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste.
Tonight, National Identification Authority NIA suggests SIM card registration extension.
Ghana Private Road Transport Union says consistent fuel price hikes could make transport fares go up further in spite of 15% increments effective Saturday, February 26.
Also tonight, some public universities to resume lectures on Thursday, February 24. But UTAG says it will resume its strike if government fails to fulfill its part of negotiations.
In business news, price of Brent crude oil on world market inches up to $99.38 a barrel, the highest since 2014.
On the international front, upper house of Russia's parliament votes in favor of giving President Putin authority to deploy armed forces abroad. We're live on TV3 Ghana on Facebook, DSTV channel 279, all across the world on 3news.com.
The news now in detail, and Director of Administration of the National Identification Authority, Cecilia Ezwa, has suggested that the SIM card re-registration be extended to the end of the year. Interacting with minority members on the Communication Committee at the NIA headquarters who were on a fact-finding mission, she noted that any attempt to take people off will be unjust.
Well, I said the SIM card registration, they should look at the time frame and extend it. A lot of people haven't received their cards. Yes. There are people who did double, triple, fourth registration, and the system has arrested their card. All these cards have to be released for them to, and we need to work on them at the back end. Otherwise, all these people will lose their SIM. There are Ghanaians who used to be foreigners and have now entered the database as Ghanaians. When they go, MTN refuses to accept their PIN because of the preface. If you are an Australian, it will start with AU. If you are Togolese, it starts with TJ and that kind of. All these people have not been able to register their card.
How many months?
I think they should extend to the end of the year. They should extend to the end. What is the rush for? We should extend to the end of the year so that people can register their cards properly.
Thank you very much.
They are putting unnecessary pressure on Ghanaians.
Well, meanwhile, the minority side of the Communications Committee of Parliament says it will push for a return to the mass registration for the Ghana card as the National Identification Authority appears before Parliament on Wednesday. Sam George is Deputy Ranking Member on the Communications Committee, a Member of Parliament for the Ningo Pram constituency.
We are very grateful. We've heard your complaints, and like my ranking member has said, we will carry all of your suggestions, your complaints. I mean, the issues that people are raising here are very serious issues. That if you pay 20 Ghana cedis, they will help you jump the queue. Or that if you pay 2.5 million, then you are treated better than another Ghanaian. Yes. These are issues that we need to raise.
Meanwhile, 168 applicants were captured on the first day of registration of the Ghana card at the Accra Sports Stadium. According to officials, 400 applicants could have been captured if internet connectivity was stable. George Quenin brings us the situational report on day 2 of the exercise.
The 5 new centers opened by the NIA is aimed at reducing associated inconveniences and congestions at the already existing centers. And operations of these new centers will last for 40 days. It actually started yesterday. And the situational report we brought you yesterday was the fact that long winding queues were recorded. And so we're here day 2 to check if there have been some sort of improvement. But clearly, it's not what it is. The numbers keep increasing, and some persons who are here as early as 5 a.m. are still in the queue unattended to.
They said today when you come, they will use the same numbers to let us go and do the registration. When they come, they give us different numbers. So we don't know what is going on now. So we are waiting for them to come and call us.
3:30. Still, yeah.
I was here at 3:30. I don't know if I can be successfully captured today.
When we came here, they've shared another number. So the one that maybe I came to meet, supposed to be before me. So today for me, whatever have to happen, I have to get it before I go.
Yeah, my number is not 290. But every week, that was 4 o'clock. My number can say, 16. No, 4 be out of your numbers, no, aka 16 no, and
I was here yesterday, but I wasn't attended to. Numbers that were issued yesterday, according to the officials, are not relevant today. So I am in the queue hoping for the best.
At the gate, you are given numbers to come here to proceed with the process. And clearly, concerns raised by some applicants at the gate tell you that they are really frustrated. But does the team leader here, Richard Kofi Bedu, know about these concerns? If no, let's put some of these concerns before him.
I did not give anybody number that he should come today. Indeed, I gave up to 206 yesterday. And when I went out calling the numbers, I realized some have left and they've gone home. If they've gone home without prior notice, that number would not hold. So those people have no excuse. They were not having the patience to wait. And that's why they are stranded there. But for now, the challenge is maybe internet connectivity. If the internet is stable, we are good to go. We can do more than 400 a day.
The NIA expects to capture more numbers and also improve on challenges that have been recorded. We hope this translates in the numbers. Josh Quenin, TV3 News, Accra Sports Stadium.
Well, this is something we're going to keep an eye on in the coming days as well. But something that has also got lots of you talking, because the structure of the economy is such that when prices of the transport fares go up, it affects almost everything on the market in terms of prices. Now, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union is saying that transport fares may go up further in spite of the 15% increment effective February 26 due to the incessant fuel price increases. General Secretary Godfred Adogma, who made this known to TV3, says that 4 other transport unions, which earlier came out with their revised fares without the consent of the coalition, would be sanctioned.
We had mentioned that 50% is what we are all going to effect as our fare increment. And then we drew the attention that within the next 1 week or 2, possibly fuel prices can go up. So we said, fine, within the first schedule, we'll adjust by 50%. Then we'll all monitor the situation and see between the next 1 month or 2, if the fuel prices still goes up to about 10%, by which time it would have been around 8.8 pesos per litre, then we would come back for another fare increment. Which means that the 20% we were asking for, leaving the initial 30% as captured on the document. Now we are now asking for 20%. The had gone to do a survey, have a document, and submit it to a particular body for the further discussion or the negotiations. You don't go outside that arrangement to announce and declare your intention that you want to increase fares by. That is unacceptable. So if you say coalition doesn't have that formidable unity, I can say yes. But we are calling a meeting tomorrow next, and we think that we'll draw the attention of such members, and if that's what they consistently want to be behaving, we'll take them out of coalition.
So how will this affect commuters? We were at some transport terminals to seek their reaction.
Coming to be more difficult for the coming years. The only thing left for the government is to reduce the taxes on the petrol. That is the only thing they can do. Apart from that, I don't see what we can do.
It is going to compound our problems. Because of this, I use the bike or I walk.
We will now be forced to increase the daily allowance we give to our children.
When the charges are high, it makes you spend more. Yeah, and also to save less. I suggest that the increment of the transport fare should be reduced.
The lorry fare is definitely, let's just say, it's high. 350 pesos in and out 7 cedi. A month is how much? It can even take 70% of the salary. So for the fare, the transport fare there, the TNT there, they should do something about it.
As a matter of fact, I have to sell out my car because I can't afford to buy fuel at 7.9 per liter. I can't afford. You ask me how much is my wage, my salary wage. It's nothing to write home about. So if I should buy a fuel of 7.9, that means then I have to go back to my hometown, Mankessim. Because life in Accra is very difficult.
It is good and I support the increment. The problem is anytime they increase it, passengers fight us. I support the new charges because we can't buy the fuel. It's too high.
So as the crude oil prices go up on the world market, that has a direct impact on prices at the pumps here in Ghana, and the 12 levies and margins in the price build-up that government has imposed has also been raised. Questions about it. Stay with us. We'll get into it as we go on. But Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has attributed the consistent increase in fuel prices to the transition in energy usage to renewables by the global community. He was speaking at a National Energy Transition Forum organized by the Ministry of Energy here in Accra.
The developing countries are facing these very high costs of petroleum prices, and that is resulting in many economic impacts such as inflation in many countries as prices of goods increase in response to the increase in petroleum prices. So we have to be very aware of where this is going. There are many who have said that the petroleum price increase is going to remain at such high levels that we are not going to see any major declines. Then how do we as developing countries like Ghana adjust to this new reality?
We continue with our focus and series on fake news.
Yes, and questions have been raised on the arrest of persons who publish fake news in Ghana and issues raised about the laws governing false news and whether they infringe on the rights of expression. In this edition, Judith Awatwe-Tando highlights the role of the state in regulating false news and the proposed pathway to its regulation.
It has been a year characterized by arrests of a number of persons who, according to the police, flouted the false news law under the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. The recent arrest of persons like Asepes Mensah Thompson, Abronye DC, Ahene Babwama of Power FM, Parkwesi Simpson of Connect FM, and others are under this law on publication of false news.
The position of the law on false news as it stands is laid out in the Criminal Offences Act and the Electronic Transactions Act, which provides sanctions, including jail terms, for those who flout them. It is based on these same acts that the police made its recent arrests, which in turn raised issues about the infringement on freedom of expression. In fact, President Akufo-Addo raised questions about the law more than a decade ago when he called for its repeal.
But beyond that, can the police really be relied on to police fake news to determine what is published with the intent to cause fear and panic?
It certainly shouldn't be the police. I don't think it's the police duty to check fake news, although the police might, in certain particular circumstances, be brought in or could conceivably come in if there's fake news. But the responsibility of ensuring that fake news is mitigated lies firstly with media organizations.
Longtime media scholar and board chairman of the Graphic Communications Group Limited, Professor Kwame Kakari, has however called for a reform of the false news law.
Since the president is on record to be opposed to that law and is on record to advocate for its reform, we in civil society, you in media, particularly your organizations, must take the opportunity to ask for its reform. I don't think it should be abolished completely.
His concerns are quite similar to that of the National Media Commission, which in fact led the passing of a comprehensive act detailing the conduct of the media to no avail. George Sapong is the executive secretary.
What is left to address in the case of Ghana is to have a law that addresses the behavioral rules. That is the responsibility of the National Media Commission. And because of that, the National Media Commission put together a legislative instrument on content standards. Okay. The Supreme Court disagreed with that, therefore leaving content without any proper standards.
The varied opinions on how to regulate false news remains an unending discourse both globally and in Ghana. And with several interested parties bent on winning the public to their side of the divide, the state would have a difficult task. Judith Awotritando, TV3 News, Accra.
Some great detail there. But the Labour Division of the Accra High Court has adjourned the case involving the National Labour Commission challenging the legality of the University Teachers Association of Ghana's strike to March 9. Lawyers for the commission, Eva Amiye, argued that the lecturers failed to serve notice on its intended strike and had not formally submitted complaints to its employers, that's government, and the National Labour Commission. She noted that their action violated the Labour Act 2003, Act 651. But lawyer for the University Teachers Association of Ghana, Kwesi Kelly Delata, told the court that the National Labour Commission delayed in negotiations after they had been served notice. UTAG noted that the NLC left issues presented to them hanging, resulting in the continuation of the strike by the lecturers. Presiding Judge Justice Frank Roxon Abuaji adjourned the case to finalize the ruling on the substantive case between the two parties.
Meanwhile, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology is to resume lectures on Thursday, February 24, after UTAG suspended its strike. But President of the Association, Dr. Solomon Nunu, at a media briefing in Accra, cautioned that it will resume the strike if government fails to fulfill its part of the bargain.
According to UTAG, the suspension of the 6 weeks industrial action over poor conditions of service follows appeals from student groups, the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, and eminent leaders. UTAG President Dr. Solomon Nunu noted the suspension of the strike is dependent on government fulfilling its end of the bargain.
At this point, we are only being cautiously optimistic because to go with what government has said alone wouldn't have been enough for us. But you'll notice that we also considered the statements, or should I say the requests that came in from the eminent persons, the Parliamentary Select Committee. We also considered our students who also made the appeals and the rest. So these are the things that we used as our considerations. But to say that there's something on the table at this point, as we've said, there's nothing. We are just being cautiously optimistic. But we all know that government oftentimes don't heed to its cries. So if they don't to get things done, then I wouldn't be surprised that we may have to come back and then go over the circle again.
The disruption of the academic calendar, he said management of the various universities will have to deal with it.
Now that NEC has taken a decision, it's easier for us to now see to the various managements. Once the individual branches write to them, then they will have to set a date for students, for lectures to begin, because students are on campus, and then we'll continue with lectures. I'm not management. I'm not the vice chancellor of any university. The managements will take that decision. And even the vice chancellor can't take that decision. It will take an academic board. And where necessary, they will have to go to council. There are processes.
UTAG urged government to take advantage of the window provided and improve the conditions of service of members.
So, as you heard there's nothing on the table. Government hasn't really made any offer. They're only cautiously optimistic. But let's go on to the telephone now. Stay a bit further on this. The president of the University Education Winneba chapter of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, that's Dr. Pascal Bodo, is joining me on the telephone. Dr. Bodo, good evening to you. Thank you for your time this evening. So you, that's the UEW UTAG branch, voted against this decision to suspend the strike temporarily. Exactly why did you take this position?
Hello?
Yes, Dr. Can you hear me, Dr. Bodo?
Yeah, the line is a bit...
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, it's better.
You raised some concerns and you were not in favor of the decision, you know, primarily to call off the strike temporarily. Exactly why you take this position?
Okay, thank you very much and good evening to your listeners. Actually, as part of our process, as UTAG to call off strike, there are two levels. The first level is for the National Executive Committee to take the decision to call off the strike, which the National Executive Committee did last night. And the second level of the process is for the constituents, the individual member chapters of UTAG, to take a vote to reject or accept the decision of NEC. And that is what the UEW chapter of UTAG did this morning. And we voted on the decision and we voted to reject the decision. The reason why we are rejecting the decision has nothing to do with UTAG NEC. Rather, it has to do with the way the government side has been treating our agreements of understanding over the period. Now the members cannot trust the government side to live up to the expectation. We understand that there is the promise that once we call off the strike, they are going to engage the negotiation team to negotiate and come out with something substantial for the members of UTAG. But the members are very skeptical about that happening. That is why, as far as the members are concerned, we will rather remain on strike until what they are promising has come to pass.
Right. The point is that it's because you cannot be negotiating while on strike. And so that's why maybe this expectation that you call off the strike and then you negotiate. But then again, your leadership clearly at the press conference today said, yes, indeed, you're right. Government hasn't brought anything to the table. There hasn't an offer been made, but they are only acting in good faith. And that you're not in agreement with.
Yes. So this is what is happening right now. The National Executive are suspending the strike for a period that is up to the 4th of March. And all the members are supposed to take their vote within 5 days, which would be coming to an end very close to the 4th of March. So we are saying that we can go on and start voting as member chapters while the negotiation team engage with government. So the strike has been suspended effectively. The fact that we took that vote this morning did not nullify the suspension of the strike.
Right.
But after the 5 days, when all the campuses have taken their vote and then sent their resolutions to the national executives, what will happen is NEC would have to sit down and take a decision on the resolutions. So we are hoping that if within the 1 week, NEC has been able to engage with government during this suspension and then arrive at an agreement, a solution for the problem, then our vote would have come to nothing. But if by the end of the 1 week, they have not resolved the problem, then NEC would have to take a decision to resume the strike. That is the process. So right now, effectively, the strike has been suspended.
Right.
A window has opened for government to now engage our members and do the negotiation.
Right. We'll see how the coming days will look like. But Dr. Kodo, thank you. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's Dr. Pascal Kodo is the president of the University of Education Winneba chapter of the vice president of the University of Education chapter of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, on their strike.
In more news tonight, the Malcolm Care Foundation has handed over medical refrigerators to 11 medical centers towards improving healthcare delivery. The donation forms part of the company's social responsibility and is in memory of the late chairman of the Malcolm Group.
The beneficiaries include the University of Ghana Medical Center, Mamobi General Hospital, Leicester Hospital, Ashaman Polyclinic, 37 Military Hospital and Holy Trinity Medical Center.
The hospitals in Ghana need a lot of support. They need inputs. This is the third time we're donating medical fridges to them. The medical fridges keep vaccines, blood, and so on and so forth. And Malcolm organizes blood donation every year. These are the hospitals who assist us through the Ghana Health Blood Service. So this is just to support them, to strengthen them, and to say, we appreciate what you're doing for Ghana. We're here to help you.
The Director of Public Relations at the University of Ghana Medical Center, Barbara Owusuhene, on behalf of the beneficiaries, lauded the Malcolm Care Foundation for the support.
We are very grateful to Malcolm Group of Companies for this pharmacy medical fridge that has been donated to us. Philanthropic acts such as these actually help to encourage and spur us on to do the work that we do and assist our patients to get better.
Quality health and education delivery to underserved communities are the priorities of the Malcolm Care Foundation.
It's live here on News 360. We're live on TV3 Ghana, on Facebook, DSTV channel 279.
Gas prices are climbing up on the international market, and this has been attributed to the Ukraine-Russia crisis, disrupting supplies across the world. The UK and several Western allies have threatened sanctions against Russia, which is the second largest oil exporter after Saudi Arabia. Now, this simply means that an increase in price of fuel at the pumps, according to the experts.
For every liter of fuel that we consume, we import, we are likely to see price of fuel go up in the next window by more than 40 pesos per liter. And this corresponds to more than close to 2 cedis per gallon. And so this is the impact that's going to have on us. And one key contributor is also the cedi's depreciation.
With a current price of $99.38 a barrel, experts suggest the only cushion for Ghana's economy is for prices to be hedged.
You either hedge by locking in the price now when you foresee price going up in the going forward, or you secure yourself by storing, and that's the essence of the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company Limited, BOST. Unfortunately, we have lost on this. We cannot, because we don't have any strategic fuel stock.
Storage is also said to be another option for the country, especially when prices are low. That is when government can get that. And until the city is strengthened and some taxes are plugged off a liter of fuel, prices will continue to shoot up at the local pumps.
And of course, we'll be monitoring this particular development because it's of a major concern to us. But for our viewers to just get a better understanding as to how the prices are doing, in 2020, the benchmark for Brent crude was selling around less than $42. In 2021, we saw it around $74. We'll bring you more updates on this particular development. But away from that, GB Foods Ghana, manufacturers of Gino and Pomo range of products, has rounded its biggest consumer promotion, the Chawenum Nako Spain, in a prize presentation to the 5th and 6th batch of winners.
Chawenum Nako Spain promotion has been ongoing for 3 months. Consumers are rewarded on a bi-weekly basis for the volumes of Gino and Pomo range of products they buy. Ultimate prize winners are selected to go on an all-expense-paid trip to Spain, Barcelona, with a partner of their choice. Emerging winners for week 5 were Rose Achia from Tuba and Aisha Zakari from Nima. And for week 6, Joseph Oponi Frimpong from Ejiso in the Ashanti region and Peace Avedida from Tema. In all, 20 Ghanaians will be going on the trip to Spain by courtesy of the promotion.
For each of you here, you are a winner and we want to congratulate you. For our consumers in Ghana, we want to thank you for your participation in this promotion, and we want to say Gino really cares, Gino is grateful.
CEO of the African region, GB Foods, Vicens Bosch, thanked Ghanaians for the massive participation in the promotion.
To try to make our consumers happy.
Hello and welcome to the entertainment news segment. I'm Anita Ekufu. Zion Train Productions has officially premiered its film, Heroes of Africa, Tete Kwashi. The historic film tells the story and struggles of how Tete Kwashi brought cocoa to Ghana. Naftali Ba caught up with casts and some movie enthusiasts
The most important thing here, more important than any gold or diamond.
After a long wait, the historic Heroes of Africa, Tete Kwashi, finally hit the Silver Bear Cinema. Ghana, and everything about his life features some top actors including Van Vicker, Emilia Brobe, Kwesi Bwedi aka Akrobeto, Bernard Esiedu Poku, and veteran actor Emmanuel France.
I saw him stealing my cocoa bean. That's the question, he's stealing my bean! Hurry up! Rule number 2.
Bernard Esiedu Poku played Tete Kwashi, the lead character.
I just couldn't believe what I saw. I knew we did like a great job, but I never for a second thought it was going to turn out this way. I was so over the moon when I saw the outcome. What I really picked up from this whole movie is that never give up on your dreams. Never give up. Do anything you can to make sure that you achieve it. To all of you, he stole the cocoa pot and he will burn.
Franz Fifi Gabin directed the award-winning film and was excited about the number of lessons to be drawn.
It's about time we do movies that will tell our past, no movies that will honor our heroes, because we say that a country which does not honor its heroes is not worth dying for. So this movie is going to teach people how to live good and exemplary life, so that even when they are gone, they will be remembered one day.
Let this serve as a warning to all of you. He stole the cocoa pod and he will burn.
This is definitely a must-watch movie. But away from that, according to reports, musician Kelvin Brown, known on stage as Kelvin Boy, has been arrested and remanded by an Adenta Circuit Court for allegedly assaulting his baby mama. The musician is said to have hit the lady several times with an iron rod in the rib. Kelvin Boy was also charged with assault as he pleaded not guilty to the offense. The court, presided over by Mrs. Sedinam Awo Baloka, has scheduled Wednesday, February 23 for the bail application of the down-flat singer. The complainant, Deborah Konyi, has been in a relationship with the accused for more than 10 years and has 2 children. Well, we'll keep eyes on this developing story and bring you more in our subsequent broadcasts. My name is Anita Kufu. Up next is International News. Good evening. Coming up in International News, we bring an update on the Ukraine-Russia tensions.
The upper house of Russia's parliament on Tuesday voted unanimously in favor of giving President Putin authority to deploy armed forces abroad. The head of the upper house says they expect forces to carry out peacekeeping tasks. Meanwhile, Germany has put a new Nord Stream 2 pipeline on ice as Britain hit Russian banks with sanctions, as the West responded to Moscow's recognition of 2 separatist regions in Ukraine by President Vladimir Putin. A federal high court in Nigeria has upheld the police force's decision to sack an unmarried officer who fell pregnant last year. Justice Ian Echo said he found no compelling reason to disrupt the discipline of the force. The case was brought by the Nigerian Bar Association following the sacking of an unmarried officer who fell pregnant in January 2021.
Well, there's more news on 3news.com, and please make some time and go on that you see the Chief of Staff gave me 120,000 CDs to give to Adjosa for the details on 3news.com. That's from Kennedy, Japan. UTAG tells government, that's KNUSC asked students and staff to report on Thursday, extend SIM card registration to end of year, NIA to government. Also, the legitimate reality is that there is no money. Kenneth Foriata is here talking about that one. Go on to 3news.com. You'll find the details there. Join me, the rest of the team, tomorrow morning on 3FM 92.7 from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Alfred Okansi.
And I am Portia Gabo. Good evening.